Assalamu alaikum. Today on Nuran Academy, we're going to talk about something that affects all of us in this digital age, the incredible power of technology and our spiritual accountability for it. If you benefit from this, please support our work by subscribing and sharing it as a sadaqah jariyah, a continuous charity. Let's begin. You know, for most of human history, if you wanted to find power, you knew exactly where to look. It was physical, it was visible, you could point to it on a map. In the palaces, the throne rooms, the courts. That's where the decisions that shaped the world were made. But today, well, that has all changed, hasn't it? The new throne rooms are server farms, cooled by fans. And the new royal decrees? They're silent, invisible lines of code that execute decisions affecting millions of people all around the globe. And the scale of this new power is just staggering. I mean, think about it. A single line of code can decide if someone gets a loan for a house or not. Another algorithm can choose whose voice gets heard by millions and whose gets buried. These systems can literally shape public opinion and influence the course of history, and most of us never even see the code that's doing it. And this is where it all comes to a head. A machine can analyze data and execute a command faster than any human ever could. But it can't answer the one question that Islam puts at the absolute center of every action we take. When that decision is made, who is responsible? Who is accountable? So, let's start by digging into a really common myth, this idea that technology is somehow neutral. Because from an Islamic point of view, once something has power, it can never truly be neutral. It's easy to fall into that trap, right? Thinking that tech is neutral? I mean, it's just math and logic. But the very moment that math and logic start to affect people's lives, it stops being neutral. It becomes a tool of power. And there's an unbreakable rule in our faith. Wherever you find power, accountability has to be right there with it. They are two sides of the very same coin. This connects directly to the timeless Islamic principle of stewardship, the amana, that sacred trust we're all given. In the past, it was obvious that kings, judges, and scholars were stewards of power. Well, today, that very same sacred trust now rests on the shoulders of developers, data scientists, and the founders of tech companies. The job titles have changed, but the spiritual weight of that responsibility, it's exactly the same. And yet, what do we hear all the time now? We hear a new kind of language, one designed to push that responsibility away. You've probably heard it. Oh, the algorithm decided. The system flagged your account. It's an attempt to make an inanimate object, a system, the one who's accountable, to create this distance between the person who built it and the consequences of what it does. And this is where our faith is just so clear and so powerful. It cuts right through those excuses. A tool is a tool, no matter how complex it is. The intention behind it and the impact it has, that falls squarely on the human who made it. Just because you automate a decision doesn't mean you've automated the accountability. Okay, so that leads us directly to our second point, which is all about personal responsibility. Let's zoom in on the individual weight that comes with creating these systems. This is a direct message to every single Muslim working in technology or even thinking about it. The moment your code, your design, your system impacts another human being's life, you've crossed a line. You're not just a coder anymore. You are a decision maker. You are a steward of that power. When you really boil it all down, the spiritual equation is incredibly simple and perfectly just. If the thing you build helps people, if it promotes fairness, you get the reward for it, the thawab. But if it causes harm, creates injustice, or spreads corruption, well, then you face accountability for it, the muhasaba. There's no escaping it. Just let that sink in for a second. In the corporate world, we're surrounded by legal jargon, right? Disclaimers, liability waivers, pages and pages of terms of service. But in the court of Allah, none of that matters. Those documents won't speak for you. You will stand alone with your deeds, your intentions, and the real-world impact of your work. So, facing this huge responsibility, what's the path forward? This last part isn't about creating fear. It's about a positive, clear vision for how we can build things with God consciousness, with taqwa. Seriously, just imagine for a moment what that would look like. A whole generation of engineers, designers, and founders who work with the core belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees everything. He sees the bias you left in the dataset. He sees the exploitative feature you designed. Nothing is hidden. Imagine building from that place of awareness. And what does that actually look like in practice? It means you refuse to see people as just data points to be optimized. It means you build systems that people can actually understand, not mysterious black boxes. It means having the moral courage to question the ethics of a project instead of just chasing the next paycheck or the next big thing.
It means your foundation is your faith, not the fleeting opinions of influencers. So let's get really practical. Here's a 4-step framework. 1. Know the impact. Always ask, who does this affect and how? 2. Design for justice. Convenience and profit can never, ever be more important than fairness. 3. Keep a human in the loop. Machines can advise, but a human has to answer for the final decision. And 4. The most important step. Fear Allah. Prioritize your accountability to Him over any worldly metric. That's the only measure of success that truly lasts.
Because in the end, after all the projects are shipped and all the stock prices rise and fall, it's all going to come down to this one single profound question that will be put to you.
And that accounting will be absolutely perfect. Every single line of code you wrote, every decision your system made on its own, every small consequence that rippled out into the world, even the ones you never saw. Nothing will be hidden.
So look, the message here is not to run away from technology or shy away from these powerful roles. Absolutely not. The message is to engage, to build, to be the one shaping the future, but to do it with your eyes wide open and your heart fully aware, always remembering that all power is a trust, and every single act of accountability ultimately leads back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The future is being written right now, in code and in algorithms. It's going to be built by people who understand how to use this incredible digital power. The best of them, the very best, will also be the ones who understand the spiritual responsibility that comes with it. Be one of them. Presented and created by Norin Studio.